empty plate. No, I'm not giving James an empty plate. This is kind of Mexican salad. So I sauteed some cauliflower, chickpeas, and shallots in with some taco sort of seasoning. And there's kale, red bell peppers, and cherry tomatoes there. And what I'm going to do is add avocado and sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, Catalina, and Cheetos to it. So then it's a Mexican salad. James is going to talk about active measures. He's talked about it a little before. He's going to continue. And this is my top of the stack, Third Man on the Mountain. It's a Disney movie. And then there's Calendar Girls and Northern Exposure. I think it was the 6th season? I can't remember. I'll have to look. I finished off that box set. And anyway, so I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote called On Broadway. Do entertainers exist without viewers to say that they do? Maybe that's why they persist with their antics. So they're all you view. Love them or they're gonna die. Then they'll blame you for killing them too. Maybe you love them, but why? They take love, but won't give it to you. Actors all pander their lies to entice passive people like you. Also they capture your eyes, which reflect such a favorable view. You're just a mirror that shows that their lies are accepted as true. After the show, each one knows they are ghosts without praises from you. So, do they truly exist when there's nothing about them that's true? You may indulge or resist them. The show can't go on without you. And you could probably hear I had some rhythm problems there. We were hiking yesterday and I'm pretty tired. So I may have to work on that one quite a lot before it's...
I've had problems with just moving my feet.
Yeah. So anyway, for some reason, my angels do this to me when I'm really exhausted. They're like, let's write poetry. And so I have poems going through my head, but a lot of the time they are not so good. So anyway, if you can take as much of the vegetables and this will be the flavorful stuff.
Okay, so mix them all around.
Yeah, and you can save the kale for later because as much of, you don't have to eat a whole lot of kale because it keeps well,
what would one eat kale, including bacteria and mold?
So, and then I gave you a spoon there to scoop out the avocado, and you can put on the Cheetos and the dressing.
Yeah, right? I can.
Yeah, and
if it were
these nut seeds.
I might take a whole lot of Cheetos. I think I'm a little short of salt.
Okay.
From yesterday, all the sweat.
But take lots of this stuff because it's very flavorful.
Okay.
Flavorful.
Yeah. I heard her say that.
I can always
but
cook
I didn't,
more.
It didn't attach to my volitional part of my brain.
Okay. So that's as much as you want? Yeah?
Yeah, for now, yeah.
Okay, where'd the lid go? Did I put it
somewhere? I put it over
you
here
put it
because I didn't want it to mess it up.
Okay. And then you can tell us how the salad is. Anyway, so Third Man on the Mountain. I kind of dreaded watching it, honestly. I thought Disney mountain movie.
Disney anything?
Well, no, I actually.
Oh, they've improved a little bit. Maybe they got rid of that guy who was it a hostile takeover? I've even forgotten his name. He's such a non-entity.
But anyway, I tend to like Disney movies. I didn't like them their first stretch with that guy who was.
Guy.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you sleazeball.
Trying to ruin the whole Disney Corporation.
Yeah, well, at least he didn't rip it down to the studs and then sell it off.
But no, this is an old movie. I don't know when it's from, but that's what the people look like.
It looks like Ireland.
Well, no, it's not.
Oh.
But anyway.
Ireland with Swiss Alps in the background.
No, it's not Ireland at all. So anyway, it's a mountain movie. We're going to have a hard time on this deck dinner, apparently.
Yeah, on the front it looked so good for Ireland. I wasn't associating with the title much. Well, they've got the mountains of Mourne and stuff like that. They're just not what we think of as mountains.
No, there's some serious mountains.
Yeah.
So, and some serious mountain climbers. It looks authentic. I think it was. I think they were really climbing. It looks good.
Yeah.
The movie itself, well, whatever. It's not that great, but just for the mountain climbing scenes, you gotta love watching this. These guys are impressive. So,
I guess.
it's based on a true story, thrilling, critically acclaimed account of Rudy Matt, a young kitchen worker who's determined to conquer the Citadel. And he did a great job. So,
there's a Citadel just south of Waterton Park and Glacier Park. You can see it in Waterton Park. But I don't think it's a Citadel. Anyway, Rudy Matt seems like a very German name. It could be in Germany or it could be in Switzerland, maybe even Austria.
Switzerland.
You're figuring Switzerland?
Yes. So anyway,
I didn't even see the mountains up at the top here. I just saw down there. They look kind of folky.
I wouldn't have thought it would be worth watching, but I think it is. You gotta be impressed by those mountain climbing scenes. It's definitely
we were out.
Watching. Honestly, I was thinking a person should set up a gym where they have motivational things on screens to help people want to work out more, and it could be things like these mountain climbing scenes, or whatever. Just things where people are really doing impressive things physically, and that might motivate people to actually do something in the gym worthwhile, or maybe motivate them to actually get out of the gym and do something worthwhile. Because honestly, when you're in the gym, you're just wasting. I guess there are some gyms where they have like the exercise bikes and stuff like that. Yeah, or powering. Yeah.
I don't know why they can't arrange that pretty well anyway.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's useless otherwise. So, Calendar Girls. And this is about women over 60. They've made a dance team. It's actually a pretty good documentary. I thought, am I going to want to watch about it? So here I have a couple true stories that made it pretty close. I thought they were worth watching. So I'm not interested in dancers for the most part. I think they're useless. If people want to dance on their own without anybody watching, that's great. But people who want to sit out in front, in front of a group of people, and are you not going to put dressing and the Cheetos on it? You forgot that part.
Oh, yeah.
I gave you scissors even so you could cut open the bag because I thought, you might have some trouble with ripping open the bag.
I wasn't sure what it was for.
Well, you can try ripping open the bag, but the way I'm feeling, that'd just end up on the floor probably.
Well, I might snip off my index finger here the way I'm going.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, they actually did. Oh, good job.
There's a way of opening these
so they actually did a pretty good job with some of their dances in here, and what I liked was I liked seeing some of the scenes, like the mirror dancing. That was pretty good, but I liked the conversations that they were having. And so, like, some of the women were talking about how you reach 50 and then you used to get a lot of attention, then all of a sudden nobody cares about you anymore. You're invisible and whatever. Yeah, you're not fertile anymore. Reach menopause, things change. And then, they're talking about how, they're talking about assisted suicide and stuff like that. And they're talking about suicide in different ways. And so they're really, these women who are older, they like to dance in a group and stuff like that. They're having a really hard time not being in the spotlight anymore. Yeah, they're having a very hard time with it. And grow up. It's unfortunate that you weren't raised properly, so that you became dancers and that sort of, aggressive personality types in the first place. But that's really nobody's problem now. That's nobody should be having to pump up your ego or something like that and make you feel like you have a reason to live or whatever. That's up to you. And it's I think it's I'm not saying all of these people would be aggressive personality types in the group, but a lot of dancers are, and a lot of these people are. The people that are talking about, oh, I don't get all the attention anymore, whatever. You're not fertile. You're not supposed to. That's not the way nature works. You're not supposed to get attention now. You're supposed to have, in between, while growing up, you're supposed to flirt. What makes you enjoy living? And it shouldn't be getting attention from other people, because you should have grown out of that by the time you were maybe 12. So if you didn't grow out of that, your parents sucked at what they did. And it may not have been their fault. Maybe they were ill and couldn't care for you properly or whatever, but here you are. You are not you haven't developed properly, and you're having troubles living. And I mean, it's unfortunate because people who don't grow up properly, they cause problems for other people who have grown up properly. But what can you do? Anyway, so I found this interesting listening to the conversations.
So it was a real documentary.
Oh yes, yeah. They did a good job putting it together. I was impressed. I think everyone should watch it.
Well, many of them are in shape, and I got to give them credit because the ones that aren't in shape, they're at least doing something about it. Right?
Yeah.
So they're all, in that sense, heroes to me. So I use the term heroes and not heroes because I don't believe it.
So you're not going to put the salad dressing on?
I forgot again. Anyway.
This is the kind of day we're having.
This guy's father died climbing the Citadel.
Oh, I should have mentioned.
If you're going to stay in shape, these are the kind of heroes that I've got.
Really? See, I prefer these.
Well, I don't believe in dying to make a point or something like that, unless you're trying to help people out. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Anyway, it's season 6 that I was watching the last, and they're of Northern Exposure, and I was really impressed with the last episode because there's a little bear cub in it, and it's really cute. And
you were saying he vocalized in a very interesting way.
Yes, I didn't think baby bears talk like that.
Now, can you kind of duplicate it? I think it was kind of like.
No,
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't quite. It was higher and kind of not than that, not lower than that, and kind of grumbly. But I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try to do it. And more like that, yeah, sort of like. Anyway, but it was cute, and I really like the scenes with the little bear. So.
It sounds as though he's a true actor.
Yeah, he was great.
Actually, most of the acting is good. The problem I have with this is it's written by smart.
It doesn't seem
smart,
real.
Whatever.
It's not
college
like,
graduates.
Alaska.
They got people from Alaska talking about Schopenhauer. Well, I haven't heard that one, but I know they've got around to it. Guys with southern accents or whatever, and talking about microeconomic theory or whatever, and come on, that's not real, And then I'm going, well, that's the whole point. It's like Pauline was talking about in her poem. It's not real.
Okay, so how is the salad with everything on it?
Oh, it's hot.
Okay, so it's a good salad.
It's a little bit hot, but I should have put more kale on.
Too spicy with the taco mix beans, eh?
I think that might be it. Well, I should put more avocado on, right?
Yeah, sure. Put more avocado on.
I am not.
Oh, somebody's sad. Poor little kid. It's such a beautiful day to be sad.
I don't think it's really, really bad. It doesn't sound as though it's in agony.
No, it sounds like a whiny sort of sad.
A
Like, I'm
little
not
bit.
getting what I want.
I don't really feel sorry.
Popsicle or
Yeah,
whatever.
well,
you know,
yeah, on a day like
something.
today,
It might be popsicle.
the kid might really need
You
something.
might really need the
Maybe not the
popsicle.
popsicle.
To,
Well,
yeah.
I don't think the sugar helps with
I don't suppose.
dealing with perspiration and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Needs water.
Anyway, so James
Hydration.
is going to talk about active measures now.
Yeah, some and the mafia plan to murder the mafia murder of JFK.
Or whatever he wants to talk about. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Sit down. Have fun.
I think I'm going to have more fun than the folks listening to. I always get the impression that I'm telling stuff that people don't want to hear. What can I do? So I hear that there was an attempt on the miserable life of a former president of the United States. Maybe someone was pulling my leg. I'm going to have something to say about that when I find out a little bit more about it. I'm not going to be checking Fox Network for it. We will try to avoid Bernie Sanders supporting sites on the internet and stuff like that. Ultimately, they all serve the interests, or those two serve the interests of Vladimir Putin. I almost said the Russians, but the Russians' interests aren't served by Vladimir Putin any more than they were by Joseph V. Stalin. That might be Vissarionovich, I'm not sure where the accent comes from. And I guess his dad was called Vissarion. And what was his name? Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, otherwise known as Lenin. Leonid Brezhnev, that is the whole initial name. Same thing with Nikita Khrushchev, Andropov, Chernenko, and even, dare I say it, Gorbachev. Anyway.
I'm going to take these away and these away once you're done with them. And the sauce?
Yeah, the sauce is pretty hot, so I don't want more hot.
Well, this isn't hot. This is sweet.
Okay.
Do you want more sweet?
No thanks. Hot and sweet are relative. I've had that, and for my taste buds, it's hot. So, it's just that way. Pauline likes the hot stuff, so it's going to taste sweet to her. That's the way it goes. People have different kind of taste buds. So, active measures. So this is about how the sleazeball who someone theoretically took a shot at. I'm going to have to see what actually happened. I'm not going to make any jokes about it now. What ostensibly happened. But people should have known, just from his past history, and actually from his familial background, that Donald Trump was a sleazeball, even before 2016 or 2015, whenever he announced his candidacy for President of the United States. And he really shouldn't have changed anyone's opinion who thought he was a sleazeball before he was elected by his sleazeball behavior while he was president. And then after, the attempted insurrection was, yeah. I mean, it was so badly done. It's kind of like the bankrupt, the way Donald Trump's companies tended to be. Eventually, I think he had, they were saying 4 bankruptcies. I'm going with minimum figure. I'm not trusting my memory right now. I think it was 6, but we'll say 4. Bankruptcies. And they generally get this right, Donald Trump back in 2018, when this thing was put out, was a Russian agent. Had been for quite a while. Agent for the Russian mob, and then eventually for Putin. It's kind of like this with a Russian mob. Maybe more like with his hands on their throats. Because if anyone is more vicious than the Russian mob, it would be the heads of the Soviet Union, and now, folks in the KGB, heads of the Soviet Union, head of the, now, whatever it's called, we'll just call it Russia. The Russian Empire Mark III or something like that. And, like this guy's got his hand on the bomb, all this sort of stuff, his finger on the button controlling the bomb. This guy's way more powerful than the Russian mafia. You could think, if he does the wrong thing, that the mob will kill him. They might be able to, but they know that the responses to it would be stunning. The KGB agents who are in power in Russia right now, former KGB agent. I don't think there's ever such a thing as a former KGB agent. If he defects or whatever, then he's risking death, even if he takes refuge somewhere else. It happened to a guy called Litvinov. He was featured for a little while in this. He went to Great Britain, was exposing some of Putin's methods. A couple of his agents got hold, and they weren't really secret agents because they left a, what was it that he was taken out with? Radioactive element. I don't think it was plutonium. Anyway, radioactive element, and they left a radioactive trail all the way back to the Soviet Union. Now, they really weren't that incompetent. That trail was intended to be left. It's like, we can get you wherever you are, and we'll get you by whatever means necessary. It was actually intended to leave that trail. How much? 3 minutes?
More than that.
Oh, okay.
6
anyway, 6 minutes? Okay, not much. I will mention that they had one Bernie Sanders, they said Bernie Sanders supporter, I don't know if he was a former supporter, saying, that I believe he said that Putin was supporting left-wingers to help split the vote. I don't know if he was a true supporter or what, or had kind of defected from the Sanders camp. But they really soft-pedaled Putin's attempt to split the vote and stuff like that in the democracies. They didn't really soft-pedal the idea that the Russians, Putin in particular, and the Russian mob are trying to split apart different ethnicities, different belief systems and stuff like that in the so-called West. And let's just call them the democracies. And however flawed some of their democracies are. And they really soft-pedaled. I don't think they ever mentioned Putin's support for Bernie Sanders. It came out after 2016. It should have been out by 2018. That they were sending money to Sanders to run in 2016. And the real shameful thing about Bernie Sanders is after that came out, he ran in 2020. I can remember saying to a Bernie Sanders supporter in the wake of 2016, I believe it was 2016, you watch, he'll run again. Oh, no, he'll never run again. No. You watch. I was right. He ran again. And, he knew, he had to know that he's what made the difference in that election. So there was a reaction on the part of Bernie Sanders supporters, very much like Susan Sarandon, who stomped out of the Democratic National Convention yelling, presumably, or intoning, shall we say, in her actorly manner. There's no difference between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And then they found out, like 3 people appointed to the Supreme Court, all anti-abortion. I think it was 3. Wow. That's kind of, maybe Hillary would have had 4 anti-abortionists on the Supreme Court or something. Come on. What ridiculosity. And enough people sat on their hands in that election in 2016 that Trump was able to steal the election. It was close enough that he, and with the help of Putin, with the help of Trump, was able to steal that election. A Putin puppet for the Putin puppet, Trump. Like, you got to have a head on your shoulders. You don't go around supporting Bernie Sanders. We'd already seen on the left wing how, and I'm on the left wing. I'm just not with many left-wingers. There's many people on the left wing. You read Lenin, and he's always talking about the socialist revolutionaries. They're on the left wing. He couldn't stand them. He couldn't stand the Mensheviks on the left wing. There's lots of people on the left wing. I'm very, very different. Just the same way the Mensheviks were very, very different from the commies. And the socialist revolutionaries, who were really nasty, were very, very different from the commies. The anarchists, left wing, they're very, very different. I'm very, very different from most of these idiots who are on the left wing. Now, and it's most of them, frankly. Most of them. So you folks should be looking in the mirror when I say that. Are you the kind of idiot that I'm talking about? You'd better change, because your brand of smashing up the left wing and wanting things to go extreme doesn't work.
Well,
It didn't work when you were supporting Ralph Nader in 2000. The election was close enough so that Bush Jr. was able to steal the election. Why would you want to do that again? You did it in 2016. What were you saying?
I'm going to say, if you're an aggressive personality type, you really have no business in a democracy.
Well, yeah, exactly right. I don't know what percentage of people are aggressive personalities, either aggressive...
people keep electing aggressive personality types.
Well, that's a problem. But a lot of them are out there propagandizing for them. So you got aggressive show people, and then you got aggressive leaders, or misleaders, really is what they are. How much time? 2?
Yeah.
2 minutes. So we'll be talking more about assassination, and we'll be talking more about active measures. But I did want to make that point. They really soft pedal, because they don't want to split the left wing. So, like, we got to be kind to these Bernie Sanders idiots and stuff like that. Like, I have no such compunctions. You guys are idiots. You keep on failing. Supporting Ralph Nader in 2000, 2004. Some defected, like Phil Donahue, and who was the other idiot who were they were on camera begging Ralph Nader not to run in 2004, because they saw what happened in 2000. They were, maybe it's Alan Alda, I can't remember. If you weren't part of that, Alan Alda, I apologize. But Phil Donahue was part of that thing. Geraldo Rivera, I don't think so, but one other of these media flunkies.
Well, I don't understand. You didn't want Ralph Nader to run, so no. Why would you not like Phil Donahue for telling Ralph Nader not to run?
Well, he was supporting him in 2000.
Oh, okay.
Phil Donahue was very active.
Well, at least he learned.
He did learn, and that's what I'm telling you, stupid left-wing Bernie Sanders supporters. You're stupid. Stop